Right, we are back with another resin art experiment, and it has been a while, guys. I do apologise, as most of you already know. I was at Maker Central for the weekend. I was very, very nervous, very anxious about travelling and the whole kind of event. And it was absolutely incredible. It wasn't so much about the event, actually. There wasn't much resin stuff there. But it was the community that they've built over the years. It is absolutely mind-blowing. Everybody kind of just hugs each other and, you know, it was incredible. But I do owe a special thanks to Wendy at Toonfish Crafts and Claire at Claire's Crafty Corner. We travelled up there together, Wendy drove, and we spent pretty much the whole weekend together. Claire and Wendy were absolutely amazing. They were kind of reassuring me, checking in on me constantly, holding my hand, in other words. I could not have done it without those two incredible people. So a massive, massive thank you to Claire and Wendy. Right, so on to the resin art experiment today. Now, I've been asked this a few times on my channel. I've never actually tried it, and that is Ammolite. It's a really, really incredible looking stone. Comes from a shell. It comes in so many different colours and variations. But I was having a little play around yesterday, and I did something just because I'm finding it hard to get back into the work vibe. Wendy and Claire did warn me after Maker Central that my mind would kind of just go into a weird I don't want to work mode, and that's what happened. So yesterday I just had a little play around, and I think I've found something. I haven't seen this done before that could produce a really nice Ammolite effect. So for this one, we are going to be using UV resin, using the Resin Rockers clear hard type for this, and we're going to be using alcohol inks, but not in the way that you would think. So these are the Let's Resin 26 alcohol ink set, and we're also going to be combining a gold powder, because I'll show you. So this was a piece I played around with yesterday with the hairspray in the UV resin, and I used the translucent alcohol inks, but then I wanted a black background. So what I thought was, what if I was to create some form of barrier between the translucency of the colour and the black background? Because if you ordinarily do a black background over translucent colours, you lose the colour. The black completely takes it away. And what happened was this. And it has an almost Ammolite effect to it already. So, but what I did with this is I dripped the alcohol inks onto the freshly poured resin, which of course makes a horrendous mess. Let me just clean that out. And we're going to carry on. Yeah. UV resin and alcohol inks, we all know it gets messy, and it did get very messy. But I'm not using the hairspray. I'm going to do it in a way that is much safer for you to do at home. Right, so I'm going to begin by pouring some of my UV resin into this heart cavity. Massive shout out to my channel members, anyone who's bought me a coffee or a super thanks, and to all subscribers. We are around 1,500 away from hitting the 100k. So guys, if you haven't hit that sub button, it is free. Hit that button. It doesn't cost you a penny. Help support the channel, and we're going to hit that milestone, and my son is going to be absolutely amazed when he gets to hold that play button. He's like I've said before, he's more excited than me. Bless him. Okay, so now I want some texture to the background to give it a kind of natural look. You've seen me do this before, ages ago on my channel, using a clear glove. And I'm just going to cut a section of this clear glove out, and we can lay that over the back of the resin and cure through it to give a textured effect. So there we have, I've just cut a section of the palm or the back. Who knows? We really don't know. What is the palm and what is the back? It's impossible to tell, isn't it? So we just need to lay that over the top. Now do be careful, I've got a very powerful lamp, and if I cure this on full power with my beast, which is 48 watts, it can bond. Same as what cling film can, or does. So I'm going to cure it on a lower power, but I also don't want any bubbles, so I need to top this up a little bit more. Okay, so I can now lay this over the resin. Just allow it to fall into place, which will push the bubbles out as I lower the film. Hopefully. It could go wrong. And what I'll do is I'll probably make a couple off camera and we'll see all the results at the end. Just push that down a little bit, like so. And that will give us a really nice textured effect. I might have to trim some off. That's fine. That's okay. We won't worry about that. And mirror, of course. Don't want to forget that, do we? Okay, I really hope I can now peel this away with ease. There we go. We have a stone effect piece. Needs some trimming, needs some work. So now we are going to be moving into the colour. So I'm going to start with a blue. Just got a silicone pot here and an old tatty paintbrush. And I'm just going to dip that and then start brushing that on. Might have to do a few layers to try and get the colour as strong as I can. But I'm going to just start working up in my colours. I'm really winging this, guys. It is Thursday. I'm due to post this. It's Thursday the 23rd of May. I'm due to post this tonight. Me and Mrs. Cooper have a little bit of a mouse problem at home. So I was sitting there getting ready to come to my studio and I could hear this rustling in the living room. And we knew mice were kind of trying to get into our place. What happened is we had some gasworks recently, and where they've been digging up the road, it's disturbed, I think it's disturbed a mouse nest. So they were, yeah, getting in. So we kind of barricaded lots of areas of the living room, the lounge, and we managed to catch it in one of our little humane traps. And Mrs. Cooper dropped me at the studio and she went and released it. I feel really bad because it's probably, they're living under the floorboards and it's probably got babies down there. I don't want to think about it, but we had to get rid of it. I don't really want them in the house. Right, last colour we are going with the red. So yeah, it's been one of those days. And like I said yesterday, it was really hard just to get back into the work mode. So now I'm just going to go over the colour again just to try and strengthen it. You can see it strengthening that colour up a bit better. Just try not to mix colours that are going to muddy. So if you are trying it, maybe try this colour blend that I'm showing right now. This could all go horribly wrong. We'll find out, won't we? Right, so I've done a few layers. I'm just going to give that a good 10 minutes just to make sure that all the alcohol was evaporated, leaving just the colour and it's fully dry. Just quickly, the colours I used from that set: blue, emerald green, lemon yellow, and I always have trouble with that one, Sagilite, red. It's red, guys, red. Alrighty then, we can now pop this out. I could have popped this out first, to be honest with you, and then cleaned it up and then done the inks, I suppose, but I just did it this way. So now, just using my scissors, I'm going to trim off some of the excess and just get it as nice as I can. You can use a cuticle tool for this, you can use a power tool, whatever you want. But to be fair, most of it is just actually just snapping and peeling away. It's not going to do it now I've said it. There you go. So this is where we are at, and in itself, you could, if you wanted to, just back that with clear, because it is stunning just on its own. But let me just show you using my black glove. What the black kind of does, it overpowers the colour, and it's going to overpower it more when a black layer is actually bonded to that. So it would be worse than what it is me showing you like that. But you can see that really nice natural effect. You could back it with white. That would be a better option, but we're now going to apply the gold powder. And for that, I'm using the gold nail powder. You've seen me use this a lot on the channel. A gold mica should be fine. It's entirely up to you. And this will also give it that really nice Ammolite effect. I'm going to be really good and try not to look at the front until I'm completely finished so we see it together. Because I'm kind of, like I said, winging this. I'm making most of it up as I go along. I know I can make it work. It's just whether it works on this occasion, guys. So I'm going to continue just dusting the whole back. Okay, that is dusted. Now at this stage, I'm kind of wondering whether I should or shouldn't. What we can do, because Ammolite does sometimes contain these black lines that we see in natural stones, especially like, is it labradorite? You know what I mean. So what we could do, in theory, is kind of go along these lines and just scrape some of the gold away. So when we apply the black, it will show through as like a crack effect. I could ruin it by doing that. I don't know. I'm just going to score out and rub off some from the highest areas. Hopefully this works. If not, like I said, I'm going to make a couple more. Maybe we'll see different versions. Just try and clear away some of that gold. So I don't know whether you can see that. It's going to be tricky to see with the naked eye. But I've cleared some of the higher ridges and some of the lower ones. Now to back it, I'm just placing that back on one of the shapes on my mould and just making it eye level, so it doesn't all run off to one side. And then in here is just some UV resin with some black mica mixed in. It is quite dark, so I'm probably going to do this in a couple of layers. Just going to start applying that all over the back, spreading it over the whole surface, but I'm not going to touch the gold mica because that is going to disturb it. I'm just going to carefully, I could pour it. If you want to pour it, pour it. I find this part really therapeutic. I enjoy doing it like this, bit by bit. Sometimes art's not about, you're trying to say things that are just like, sometimes art's not about rushing. Well, of course it's not. You know what I mean. Just take your time if you want to. I quite enjoy it. Yeah, so I'm going to do this in a couple of layers. So that's layer one all the way out to the edge. Going to cure that for a minute and then come back and do it again. But you don't need to see that part. Okay, so I was going to make some more. Like I said, I want us to see this together. I know there's obviously a few hours delay. It's going to be like 6 hours delay in you seeing this after what I have. But I don't want to make any more until we've seen this. So I'm going to do a quick reveal and either cry or gasp. You're going to see it very, very quickly. And then judging on the results, I'm then going to make more. Right, okay. I hope you understand that. I don't want to commit to doing more without seeing this first. You know what I mean. Right, that's crazy. Back in a sec. Right, so you know I love my ovals. I had to make an oval one as well. As always, give the video a thumbs up, guys. Drop me a comment if you haven't subbed. Again, it is free. Hit that button for me. You could be the 100,000th subscriber. You never know. Right, so I'm going to show the heart again first. I just need to drill a hole in there and attach a bail. I'm really, really amazed for a first kind of attempt how well this has come out. And imagine this on a much bigger scale, like a coaster. And of course this can be done with epoxy. It's incredible. It is so close. So close. Maybe I need to play around with, instead of a gold, something else. Maybe I could use the corresponding coloured nail powders, because I have them, instead of gold. I don't know. But that is something else, isn't it? It's crazy. It's not really picking up the flash on camera as well as it is in person. Right, I haven't looked at this one either. Let's see. And the good thing is, guys, with these gloves, I used the same part of the glove again to make this one. You can just keep using them over and over again. Right, you see I've got a really long ridge down there and one here. Wow, that's even stronger. So I went in with more of a kind of variation of colour. I didn't really work my way up through colours. I kind of just blotted them around. I think a bit more green. Do you know what I think? The lime green would have been a bit better. Would have been much brighter. But look at that. Got some gold dust stuck to the front still. That really is something, isn't it? Well, I hope you enjoyed that one. Sorry it's been a little bit quiet on my side. I now have to rush and kind of get everything stitched together, all the parts of the video, and uploaded and edited for tonight. And I will see you for the next one. Bye for now.